What is up guys, Joel here back with another video, and this time we are checking out the new iPhone 12 Pro Max. Now if you've been waiting on the largest iPhone Apple is making in 2020, this here is going to be it. This year we got two separate launches with the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro launching back in late October, and the iPhone 12 Pro Max along with the iPhone 12 mini launching in mid-November. If you haven't checked out my video on the iPhone 12 Pro, go ahead and check that one out after you watch this. But in this video, I wanted to give you a quick little unboxing and my first impressions of the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So in that quick intro, you probably missed what comes in the box because that was all pretty much an unboxing, but there's not much because all you get now is some literature, an Apple sticker, and a SIM ejector, along with a USB-C to Lightning cable. Just like every other iPhone 12 this year, you don't get supplied with a power adapter. Apple says they're trying to be environmental friendly, but we all know they want that money. So the iPhone 12 Pro Max is the biggest out of all iPhones that were released this year. It's rocking a large 6.7-inch Super Retina XDR display, which in comparison to its predecessor, the iPhone 11 Pro Max, it is even larger than that, but not by much because the 11 Pro Max had a 6.5-inch display, so it is just 0.2 inches larger. Now when holding the 12 Pro Max in the hand for the first time, it did feel pretty big, especially with the new flat edge design. It didn't feel too much larger than the 11 Pro Max, but because that one had a more rounded design, I felt like it was a little smaller because it does curve around your hand. But just for comparisons, the iPhone 12 Pro Max is slightly taller by 2.8 millimeters and is 0.3 millimeters wider. But when it comes to thinness, the 12 Pro Max is actually thinner. Now, I wouldn't say I have large hands. I'd probably say I have medium-sized hands, but the 12 Pro Max still felt good in the hand. I guess since I've been using the Max versions for the past 2 years of the iPhones, I've managed to kind of maneuver my hands in different ways to reach different parts of the phone. Though I wouldn't say my thumbs can reach across the whole entire screen because they can't. But I don't feel like this is a much larger phone compared to the previous Max devices. Don't get me wrong, it's still a big phone, and I would probably suggest you to first check it out and have a feel of it in your hand before deciding to go with the Max. Now, aside from the bigger screen and new design, one of the bigger changes will have to be on the bigger cameras on the back. Now overall, the camera module is definitely bigger than the iPhone 11 Pro Max and the iPhone 12 Pro. But if you saw my last iPhone 12 Pro video, the cameras share a lot of similarities. The 12 Pro Max still has that triple camera setup with the 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, the 12 megapixel wide angle camera, and a 12 megapixel telephoto camera. It also has the new LiDAR scanner for night mode portraits, faster autofocus in low light, and also augmented reality. Now, even though this shares the triple Pro 12 megapixel camera system, the 12 Pro Max this year actually has a little bump up in camera. The wide angle camera on the Pro Max now has a 47% larger sensor and larger pixels to increase the amount of light that is gathered when you're taking photos and videos with the wide angle camera. So I did a little camera test to give you a comparison between the iPhone 12 Pro Max, the iPhone 12 Pro, and the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Now when you compare shots whenever there's a lot of light, you won't see a huge difference when comparing the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max's wide angle cameras. Though you'll probably see a difference between the 11 Pro Max and then all the new iPhone 12 models. But where it really stands out is going to be at night because of this larger sensor. So when it comes to low light, the 12 Pro Max is going to be the best one out of all the devices because it definitely lets more light in, and you can kind of see for yourself in many of the shots that I took the difference when it comes to low light. Now, all those shots that you just saw were taken with the wide angle camera, but if you are into the ultra wide, another good thing is that now with the 12 Pro Max and also the 12 Pro, you can do night mode as well and get those better low light shots. And just comparing that to the iPhone 11 Pro Max from last year, the ultra wide angle camera didn't perform very well under low light conditions because it didn't have night mode. Now the 12 Pro Max also has a new optical image stabilization sensor called sensor shift. So what this does, instead of having the lens do the optical image stabilization, the actual sensor is the one that is moving and doing the optical image stabilization. Also, the 12 Pro Max has gotten a new 65mm telephoto camera, so that lets you zoom in even tighter on portraits, and it's going to have 5 times optical zoom range compared to 4 times optical zoom range for the 12 Pro and also the 11 Pro Max. I try to do a little sample here to kind of give you an idea of how much closer you can zoom into objects with the new 65mm telephoto camera. Now these new cameras on the 12 Pro Max, along with the new LiDAR sensor, the 12 Pro Max camera is going to be better than any other iPhone 12. You're going to get some excellent low light shots and video when it comes to using the iPhone 12 Pro Max. But as far as comparing it to the 12 Pro, the better camera out of both of them is going to be the 12 Pro Max, but not by much. You'll get better stable shots when it comes to photos and videos, and a little bit of better low light performance because of the larger wide angle camera sensor and the new sensor shift optical image stabilization. Now also with the 12 Pro Max and also the 12 Pro, in an iOS update that's coming out very soon, you'll be able to also take advantage of Apple's Pro RAW. So when taking photos, you'll be able to get the full raw quality of the photo and adjust them however you want without losing quality. And when it comes to taking video, you'll be able to take advantage of Dolby Vision recording, which will let you take 10-bit HDR recording and edit those straight on your phone. So with having the largest screen on an iPhone, the 12 Pro Max also has the largest battery. During my days of using it over the weekend, I saw an average battery life of 6 to about 8 hours of screen on time, which is not bad. I wouldn't say it was any better or worse than the iPhone 11 Pro Max, but during these days, I used it for everything: social media, watching videos, texting, navigation, emails, music, all that. So even with having 5G on the new iPhone 12s, including this Pro Max, I was able to get through an average day starting off around 7 or 8 a.m. and then around 7 or 8 p.m. I was still at about 30% battery. I will note that I had it set to 5G auto, so I didn't have it always using 5G. It would just go back between 5G and LTE automatically. But if you do set it to 5G on, I don't see you getting the same battery results as I did. I have yet to test out a full day of just 5G, but unless if you live in an area that has excellent 5G coverage, I would recommend to keep it on auto so it won't drain your battery because it's always trying to reach 5G networks. Now, after using the iPhone 12 Pro Max for a few days with even the larger screen, it feels like now it is time to finally get true multitasking. With the new A14 Bionic chip inside and 6GB of RAM, it is powerful enough to be able to run apps and have them side by side to get that iPad-like experience. Also, with MagSafe being built into the back of the iPhone 12s, giving it those accessories that can magnetically attach to the back of the iPhone, it got me thinking of the Apple Pencil and how it magnetizes to the iPad Air and iPad Pro. I may be reaching for Apple Pencil support on an iPhone, but imagine being able to use the Apple Pencil on your iPad and also your iPhone. But having true multitasking on the iPhone 12 Pro Max is definitely something I would like to see in a future iOS update. I think with its nice large display, it needs to be able to be utilized for a little bit more than just a great screen for editing videos, photos, gaming, or consuming media. But don't get me wrong, having that larger display, bigger battery, and improved cameras over all the other iPhone 12 models is definitely great. I just think the Pro Max needs to live up to its name and give more than just that. Aside from that, the iPhone 12 Pro Max is still going to be the best iPhone you can get right now, but is a larger screen, bigger battery, and the extra camera feature something to win you over. If you want a smaller iPhone and still want that triple camera setup, the iPhone 12 Pro is probably what you should get. I honestly have been enjoying the iPhone 12 Pro size with its 6.1 inch screen now. And as far as results when it comes to photos and videos, it's gonna be very, very close to the Pro Max. But I always wanna know that I'm going to get the best out of the iPhone 12, even if that means that I have to carry a huge phone because I'll have that large display. I also have the largest battery, and I know that it's going to have the best low light performance out of all the iPhone 12s, even though it's not by much if you compare it to the 12 Pro. So I'll be sticking to the iPhone 12 Pro Max as my iPhone of choice. But what do you think? Do these upgrades make you want to jump to the iPhone 12 Pro Max, or will you be picking up any other iPhone 12 this year? I would like to know your thoughts in the comments down below. But as always, if you did enjoy this video, let me know by hitting that like button down below, as it not only lets me know that you enjoyed it, but it also shows support to the channel. Now, if you're on social media, I am on Instagram and Twitter, so feel free to message me on there and give me a follow if you like. I'll leave those linked down below. And lastly, if you feel like being awesome, hit that subscribe button and be sure to click that notification bell. That way you are notified every time I drop a new video. Anyways, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate your support very much. But I'll catch you all on the next one. All right? Peace.